Hi, this is Yvonne Jarrett from the Seattle, Washington area. And
Okay.
she is, for those of you watching, she is an admin on the Conceptual Blending and Tarot Facebook group and also a regular seen on the Vince Petici monthly gatherings, which are since suspended. So we're over on the Conceptual Blending and Tarot group. So, Yvonne, I'm doing this series on reading professionally at fairs and festivals, and I kind of just wanted to pick your brain a little bit. You haven't been doing the festivals all that long. What was it that made you get into it in the first place?
Okay. Well, I have not been doing it for too long. I've been studying tarot and doing personal readings and readings for friends and families for years. But doing the fairs, well, it just felt like I needed to get out there and just to see what it was like. I've been to many metaphysical fairs and watched other readers and had readings from other readers, and it just seemed like the next step. And, if you're gonna be a tarot reader, well, at some point, you wanna just go out into the world and read.
So what were those first couple events like? I mean, did you have any like aha moments at them, or what were your expectations? Were they met, or would you have done something different had
Um,
you known then what you know now?
yes. Well, yes, exciting, the energy that goes into first up, signing up for it. Am I doing the right thing? Oh my God, what did I just get myself into? And, and because you're committed to it. I mean, once you've signed up, you've paid good money for it. And so, you want to follow through. Um, for myself, the very first one that I did, that's exactly how I felt. It's like, okay, it's time to do it. I'm gonna sign up, signed up as soon as it opened, paid for it, and then thought, what did I just get myself into?
Well, yeah,
What am I gonna do? And, well, you're
yeah,
gonna
you're good
that's what you're
anyway.
gonna and, of
Mhm.
course, there's always that feeling of not feeling good enough, or not feeling like, "Okay, am I even supposed to be here? Not worthy," right?
That's
But you're
kind of
worthy.
that's kind of that imposter syndrome feeling. I
It is. It is.
we've all had at some point.
Yeah, it's at some point you have to talk yourself down from that ledge and say, "Okay, you know what? I am worthy. I'm as good as anybody else, and let's see how it goes." And the first one that I did that, once I got that fear factor out of my system,
Yeah.
I sat up, got my little table set up, and I had my cards, and then I looked around and I thought, "Okay, well, and my little sign saying, how much. And I guess we'll get into that in a minute. And just sat there, waited and waited and waited. And then finally, some brave soul came up and said, You do tarot readings? Okay, yeah, that's what the sign says.
At the part says,
And
yeah.
the sign says so. There are cards in front of me. So I think, yeah, let's give it a go. And it turned out to be a really good reading.
That's good.
It was exciting for me as a reader to be able to deliver a message that resonated with the person, the person.
Nothing will help your confidence level like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, that 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 goes then, then you get I got a couple other people and, had the look of skepticism. Was like, does she even know? She's not charging very much. Can she be as good as the guy, you know, 10 tables down that is charging a lot more? Well, you just do your best, you know your cards, you know your spreads, and you just read. And the
Yeah.
person's gonna walk away feeling a little bit better about their question. We're not there to solve their problems. We're there to help them find the answer from within. That's my approach.
Or find the path, right? Help show them the options so that they have something more to work with. I think, and don't you think we all have the answers within every
Yeah.
sits across from me, they already know, or they wouldn't have asked the question.
Exactly.
I
They
think
just want affirmation or something.
well, I think they just don't think they know how to process it and get it out, and it's that process I think is really helpful. So, do you have any stories or any weird things or anything that's happened? I mean, from those readings or from your, being at the events? Have you ever had any?
It wouldn't be a reading if you didn't. I mean, every single reading, there's always a bit of an element of surprise and affirmation from the client
Yeah,
to the reader, letting the reader know that, okay, you're onto something. Is it spirit? Is it, conceptual blending? What is it? But it doesn't really matter what it is, so long as that person has some some measure of guidance,
yeah.
they walk away with something that they didn't really have when they came to me.
Like I said, I've been traveling around and I just thought we all charged the same thing, but I guess different areas charge, have different things. And so I know people want to know, how much everyone's charging out there. What is the, what's the going rate in your area at these events? What's the range? And then what do you charge? And do you use what kind of spread do you use for that? And what is your time frame? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, it's here in the Great Northwest. It's I think the average would be probably maybe 40 $45, for reading. And at fairs, I've seen it, I've seen everything. I've seen from, $25 to, 35 bucks, $45. And, when you get into a venue that has hundreds of people, hundreds of vendors,
Mhm.
you know, you can either go with the flow and, charge 40 bucks or 35 bucks. But I know that there are readers out here that charge in the hundreds
Yeah.
because they have a, fan base. They have I don't know if fan is the correct verbiage, but,
I think it
they
is.
yeah, they have followers, people who are regulars that come to them for answers.
Haven't you found that in some cases, the most expensive readers out there are usually the ones that are still reading while everyone else is packing up?
Yes.
Still have a line. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Because, they're established in the community.
yeah,
There are people who I mean, I know, so many master tarot readers out here that are amazing. And yeah, they go to the shows too.
yeah,
I mean, they
sure.
have their own business and on their own. They work in metaphysical bookstores and all that, but they go to the fairs just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anywhere from $35 all the way up to $160.
So is 40 your typical charge?
Um, for personally, I think it depends on the fare,
Okay,
actually.
you want to kind of be in the middle, or you kind of want to be in the upper middle range of everybody out there. How many do you have timed event? Do you have timed readings, or do you just say, I'm going to answer your question and
Yeah, I'm gonna answer your question. I don't do time readings. I know that, again, people that I know that work at bookstores and when they have events at the bookstores, they usually have, like, a sign-up sheet, and it's, 15-minute readings, and the 15-minute readings, those can be sometimes they're 15 or $20, but it's a special event,
yeah,
and they're getting I mean, they're booked solid,
yeah,
and so for that, but I don't do the timed readings because, when you're in an open event, an open venue with so many other things going on, people, you know, it doesn't make sense to have them sign up. Well, that's just my own personal view.
sure,
I mean, it might make sense for others, and in respect to that. But for myself, it just seems that because I've tried it
yeah,
and I've tried it. And what happens is that if there's somebody sitting in front of you and someone else comes and they sign up, then they say how long, and it's like, well, in about 10 minutes, they may or may not come back,
I
because they get distracted. So much is going on.
Yep. That's
That's
kind of
hard too.
that's why I got rid of time to be, of a time to sign up sheet. I still have a sign up sheet, but and it says on my sign up sheet, figure figure 2 minutes for every game ahead of you. You and
Smart.
if they're not there when I'm done, when I'm ready for them, I move right on to the next one. I mean, when I got rid of the timed readings or the actual time slots, I added 4 to 5 readings per event per that day to my thing because some would be 10 to 12 and others might be 15 and whatever. So listen, if somebody came to you today and said, "Oh, Yvonne, I want to start doing event readings." What would your advice be to them? I mean, what would you tell them?
Well, I would ask them, is this your first event? And, depending on whatever the answer is. And I'd say start right up there with the rest of the gang. Don't sell yourself short. I've done events where I've done $25, you know, and that's because that's just me. That's just me. It doesn't mean that you have to go that low or that you have to go really high. It's just however you feel. And also, here's a thing to think about, Len. Why are you doing readings? That's the question that you can ask the cards. Why am I doing readings? Are you doing it because you need to make a career out of it? Are you doing it because you just want to help people? Do you do it because you love it? What is the reasoning behind your readings? And I think that should help you make a choice as to how you want to charge for readings and how long your readings are too. Because if you're going to charge $25, it's going to be, as I like to call it, and I know you've said this before, down and dirty three. Boom, boom, boom. And there you go. And that could be a matter of 10 minutes. It might be less than 15 minutes, if if you're doing, the 3-card read and it's a simple question. And they can come back. They can come back. You say, okay, well, you know what? Today, this reading it's a 15-minute reading. It's $25. And if you feel that you want to go deeper, here's my card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I kind of I don't get agitated. I mean, people can do whatever they want to do, but I just think it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to do, half an hour, 45-minute long, in-depth readings, in that environment. I mean, and furthermore, I mean, even to me, unless you really have the time to sit and work with somebody in a private setting, there's only so much they can absorb, or any human brain can absorb and process. So, there's a whole lot of garbage in, garbage out, over the course of even a 15-minute reading. I just want to make sure they rack away with one or two solid things.
Exactly. And they
And
can. In that short of time, you can give somebody that kind of satisfaction. It's like, okay, this is something I needed to know now, you know? And I'm gonna be honest, I've been in venues where, see, I'm also an artist.
right?
So, and we do monthly art walks, and people know that I'm a tarot reader as well. And depending on what's going on, I probably not do a reading in that setting because it's not fair to the client, the person who's asking the question. And I'll give them my card and say, you know what? Here's where you can reach me. Give me a call. And I've had people, actually reach out to me,
Sure.
and I responded to them, and then crickets, nothing, you know.
Well,
And
I don't know how people can sell something and read at the same time. I mean, because it's like, I
crazy.
yeah, it's too much, I think.
Mhm.
Well, Yvonne, thanks for your tidbits. And
One more tip, one more thing, like Columbo said, and one more thing
all right.
is have tissue on your table.
Yeah. I don't
That
if,
advice, maybe.
if I don't make them clean and I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was one of my mistakes. one of my first mistakes, I didn't have tissue, and I had somebody who was just, overwhelmed with the message, and all I could offer was my sleeve.
You know, I mean, well, listen, I will see you the second Tuesday of February at high noon Central Standard Time on the Conceptual Blending and Tarot Facebook group for a live Zoom meeting. We're holding them just to talk about anything tarot, right?
Yeah, it's a you know what? I
They're
didn't
here.
even give it
We're
a
going to
name.
talk tarot.
Yeah,
Mm,
second Tuesday tarot talk.
that's great. All right, Yvonne, it was you hang out. I'll say goodbye to everybody else here and
Hey,
see you until next video.
bye, everybody.
Bye.